Now on Fast Track News, a death in Purdue's physics building is currently being investigated.
Dog days are here on campus. Find out how students are de-stressing with some four-legged friends.
We also take an inside look at the Boilermaker Butcher Block. All your campus news, weather, and sports is straight ahead. Fast Track is back. Happy Friday, Boilermakers. I'm Maria Vaughter.
And I'm Casey Cervenka. It's March 13th, our second Friday the 13th of 2026. Here's a look at your campus news for the week.
First, a developing story that happened Wednesday.
The Purdue University Police Department and the Tippecanoe County Coroner's Office are currently conducting a death investigation. On Wednesday, March 11th at 6:21 p.m., the Tippecanoe County Coroner was notified of a death that occurred in Purdue's physics building. The identity of the person is currently unknown, and an autopsy is scheduled for today.
We've had an interesting weather week. Our weather started off with rain and warm temperatures, but we'll see if this follows us into spring break. Meteorologist Andrew Brzezinski is here with a first look at the forecast.
Good morning, West Lafayette. Looks like our crazy weather is not over just yet, but we do have a little bit of a calm day today. Only a little bit of wind on the radar, wind on the forecast. We're looking at high of 51, low of 31. So we are going to get below freezing this evening, so it will be a little chilly. Make sure to bring your jacket around with you. And as far as the lookout for the rest of the day, this morning 43. Going to stay pretty consistent throughout the day. Cloudy. Not a lot of sunshine popping out, maybe a little bit of peeking through the clouds as some of that cloud cover begins to burn off. 48 midday, 46 going down, and we'll get colder as we go into the evening.
Some four-legged guests visited campus this week.
Reporter Hannah Guy visited Hicks Undergraduate Library, where students can meet local therapy dogs.
Looking for a study break? I'm here at the Hicks Undergraduate Library for Dog Days at Purdue, where students can come to pet dogs and relieve their stress.
Academic stress and homesickness can get students feeling down at times. Ashley Fawcett, event planner for the Purdue Libraries, was inspired by other colleges to bring therapy dogs to campus to lighten everyone's spirits.
Libraries provides a lot of services both in the academic side, but we also care about you guys in the emotional sense and the mental health sense and all of those things. And we want to provide ways to do that, and we thought dogs are a perfect fit.
For this event, Purdue Libraries partnered with Love on a Leash, a local volunteer pet therapy service. Although this was the first Purdue event that Jim Mishalke and his dog Biscuit have attended, they love making people feel a little better after a rough day.
So it just sounded like something that would be fun, and I would like to go to hospitals and visit kids, nursing homes, things like that.
Sophomore Skylar Grosh comes to as many dog days as she can in a semester. She especially appreciated getting a break amid a busy midterm season.
Spring break is coming up, and I really need to get through this last week because I'm really excited to see my dogs at home. So I'm hoping this kind of brings a little happiness and just kind of pushes my way through the week. Yeah.
The next dog days will be in the Stewart Center on March 27th. Reporting for Fast Track News, I'm Hannah Guy.
You can pet Biscuit and many other therapy dogs the second Tuesday of each month in Hicks and the fourth Friday of each month in the Humanities and Social Sciences Library.
Check out Purdue Libraries on Instagram for more information.
After a long 9 weeks of class, the longest stretch of time during the school year without a break, Boilermakers look forward to spring break as a mental and physical reset. With thousands of students heading to warm vacation spots, such as Fort Lauderdale or Miami, health and safety officials are urging students to plan ahead and be smart. Authorities say a little preparation can go a long way in preventing emergencies during spring break.
The big thing is have fun, be safe, but when you're driving too, obviously if you are driving, drive sober. That's the number one thing. So safety, drive sober. And that goes for alcohol, but you may be traveling to a state where marijuana is illegal, or where it's legal rather. Don't forget that just because marijuana is legal doesn't mean you can drive while doing that, okay?
Statistics show that the rate of fatal car crashes over spring break spikes over 9% with drivers under the age of 25. So make sure to always exercise caution, make smart choices, and look out for one another over spring break.
Purdue University is mourning the loss of groundbreaking researcher who turned scientific discoveries into life-saving treatments. Dr. Philip Lau spent nearly 5 decades at Purdue, serving as a presidential scholar for drug discovery and a distinguished professor of chemistry. Over his career, he held more than 100 U.S. patents and founded 7 companies based on Purdue research. One of those companies, Endokite, was sold in a $2.1 billion deal to Novartis, which led to the development of the cancer therapy Pluvicto. University leaders say Lau's work helped bring several cancer treatments to patients and will continue to impact research for generations. Lau joined Purdue's faculty in 1976 and is survived by his wife, 5 children, and 19 grandchildren. He leaves behind decades of discovery that will continue to shape modern research.
If you were at the co-rec last weekend, you might have seen some hard-working athletes rowing in the feature gym. Reporter Taylor Switzer has the story.
That's right, Boilers. I'm here at the co-rec reporting on Purdue Crew's annual rowathon event, where these students are working hard for a cause.
On Saturday, March 7th, the co-rec feature gym housed the 12-hour fundraising workout. Members of Purdue Crew's rowing team could be found in friendly competition with each other on the rowing machines. Their challenge? Row as many meters as possible with a team of 3 in 4 hours.
So we're doing 4 hours. I've been rowing for a while. I've done about 15 to 17K.
Yeah, we've been rowing a lot.
We're like 2.5 hours in, I think.
Yeah.
My team is at 38,000 meters.
And we're at 36,000 meters right now. Our record-breaking time this morning put us at just under 70,000 meters pulled over a 4-hour time span, which is very impressive. A lot of guys struggle to hold that pace for 30 minutes, much less 4 hours.
But this isn't just a contest. The crew is rowing to fundraise for the Lafayette Urban Ministries Good Samaritan Fund. Some of the money raised also helps offset costs for the athletes.
I think it's just important to make sure that Purdue Crew is like a contributing member to the community, because we do get so much back from the community and from Purdue's, Greater Lafayette society. And so I think it's really important to show that we kind of give back to our community in the same way that they give to us.
It feels good to, have a cause and to do something fun like this. I know that we've worked so hard to be able to do this many meters. So
yeah, it's very motivating to know that we're working towards something like outside of our program.
Yeah.
Donations were raised through their website, social media, and QR codes at the event.
Reporting for Fast Track News, I'm Taylor Switzer.
Congratulations, Purdue Crew, on all your hard work, and thank you for giving back to our community.
Follow at Purdue_Crew at Instagram to find more information. Next, we take a look at what the Boilermaker Butcher Block has to offer.
And still to come, a Purdue professor is working to improve the social skills of robots to create the ideal human helper.
Imagine a world where Olympics and Paralympics are unified as one, and where all athletes at all levels have equal opportunities to play and perform at their full potential.
Athletics has been such an influential and transformative aspect of my life. So to me, RISE is about ensuring that every person that has the desire to participate in sport has the opportunity to do so.
This organization is about recognition. We believe in recognizing excellence where it is found, especially in Paralympic sports.
RISE is about driving change in our community and beyond. We hope that through our events and initiatives, we can galvanize people for our cause and inspire them to create an ever-growing network to help achieve our mission.
It's about connecting people of various backgrounds and who truly care about creating meaningful change together.
We develop projects and hold events to bring people together at the interface of inclusivity, sports, and engineering.
Our goal is to promote the equality of all sports and to improve sports performance and accessibility.
Join us so that you can have a major contribution in creating meaningful change.
Did you know Purdue has a farm-to-fork storefront right here on campus? Elizabeth Zerfus is reporting from the Boilermaker Butcher Block for an inside look.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Zerfus reporting with Fast Track News. I'm currently standing right outside Creighton Hall, which holds one of the many wonders you can find right here on Purdue's campus. Let's head inside.
Located at the Land of Lakes Center for Experiential Learning inside Creighton Hall, the Boilermaker Butcher Block has been around for 40 years, yet it is still considered one of Purdue's best-kept secrets. Talking with student employee Delaney Packard, she told us what she loves about working here.
There's always something new that I haven't tried yet, so I'm always getting my chance to try my hand at something that I'm getting out of my comfort zone.
The shop is mainly ran by students who work every part of the process. Just behind the store are the cut rooms, where students in class learn how to slice different meats for the store. But even further are the ASREC units. Just 7 miles away, this is where the animals for the products are raised. The whole process is done right here in West Lafayette. With how local it is, Delaney shares what types of people she sees come in.
We usually have like a mix. We have quite a few regulars who are loyal customers, people who live just down the street or somewhere in the Lafayette, West Lafayette area. Also have a lot of college students, especially gym bros, who like to get a good hand on our steaks when we have them in the fresh case.
One of these locals is Jacqueline Carroll, a longtime Purdue faculty member who shared how often she comes into the butcher block.
Not as often as I like. I have not worked on campus for a year, so I happen to be in town, and I'm like, I get the weekly meat list, because I've always signed up for it. I was like, I have to go in and get me some things. And so I was passing by and I'm like, I gotta go in. And so when I was on campus, it might have been like once every 2 weeks I'd stock up on stuff.
The Boilermaker Butcher Block sells an array of items from steak, sausage, pork chops, chicken, eggs, honey, and more. Students and community members here at Purdue know that they have a safe place to buy their meat right here at the Butcher Block. I'm Elizabeth Zerfus, and I'm going to enjoy this beef stick, and I'm reporting with Fast Track News.
The Butcher Block is open 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Wednesday through Friday, and 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturdays.
And if you can't make it in, just look up Boilermaker Butcher Block form on your web browser to place an order online. Soo-Young Jung, an assistant professor of computer science at Purdue, is working to create more social robots. Jung is currently focusing on building the ideal study buddy. The robot is designed to help students learn or help anyone complete a task. Jung is testing robots that offer encouragement to students, pretending to study parallel to a student to encourage productivity, or occasionally remind students of what their goal was.
A lot of the students, may gather together in like an office, or maybe, in someone's room, or maybe in a common area, and they provide each other accountability, right? So like everyone can focus and not goof off. So we wanted to emulate some of these effects, pure, study buddy effect through our robot.
All right, so coming up this weekend, it's Brocky weekend. Coming up, we got, today, high of 51, low of 31, like we said earlier, a little bit of wind. Saturday, our calmest day coming up. We do have some rocky weather coming up this next week, like I said. Sunday, we have some chances for some evening, late afternoon thunderstorms, especially with this warm-up, and that's going to turn into possibly some snow coming Monday morning.
At Purdue University, we're not just students, we're future leaders. Join Air Force ROTC to embark on a journey of honor, excellence, and service. Learn, lead, and soar to new heights. It's not just a commitment, it's a calling. Purdue Air Force ROTC, where dreams take flight. Are you ready to rise? I got a switch in my head. I go from living to dead. You got me seeing all red. Now I'm becoming.
If I could describe Boilermaker DC in one word, I would say insightful. I've done a couple internships in DC, but this experience was different and opened my eyes into what other aspects of DC has to offer in networking and relationships as well.
If I could describe BGDC in one word, I would say eye-opening. I've been to DC a couple times before, but I have had nowhere close to an experience as immersive or as informative as the BGDC experience.
If you're interested in politics and you want to get into working in government, this is a good experience for you.
It was something I initially myself really wanted to do, but I know there were a lot of people that might be on more of the fence about it. And I truly think BGDC was worth every penny, every time I did a reflection. Absolutely worth it.
If I can describe BGDC in one word, it's life-changing.
The Center for C-SPAN, which is this organization, the CCSC, what we do is we facilitate like a bunch of organizations, different programs for Brian Lamb, which is the founder of C-SPAN. Anyone can be part of CCSC, whether it be through our various internships, our competitions, just to be involved, even like our student community meetings that we have every week. Anyone can go, you don't have to be communications or poli-sci. You just meet so many people, the connections you make is kind of crazy, the range that CCSC has. So yeah, it's just provided me so many opportunities to like kind of achieve the goals I have personally and forward to like whatever career paths I choose.
Alrighty, so today, windy day, like I said earlier, so watch those hats, make sure you bring a jacket. It's gonna bring that 50-degree temperature kind of down a little bit cooler, around to the 30 or 20-degree level. As you can see, kind of the winds are coming from the northwest down into our area here, gusting up to 30 knots, about 30-ish miles an hour. So that's enough to knock you over. So I'd watch out for things flying around, but we'll see here. Now, as far as the rain and wintry mix that we're going to be getting this week, it's tons of chaos, especially as we cool down going into Sunday into Monday. This storm kind of coming out of this low pressure system, taking this storm. It's going to kind of build up out over central U.S. and get pretty strong as it comes to us. It's going to start out as rain with a chance of some thunderstorms Sunday night, and then it's going to work into, as we cool off, into snow Monday morning. It's kind of in that wintry mix area, especially in the evening hours. Watch for slick roads as kind of the temperatures get down, especially with all the rain we're getting beforehand. So that's something to be aware of, and you can see a kind of a closer look here. It's a storm. It's going to kind of stay, our northern friends up here, it's kind of going to stay mostly snow, and then we're on that wintry mix line. So it's a 50-50 shot. Probably not a lot of accumulation, as far as what we'll see on the ground. It'll probably stay mostly wet roads and maybe see some flurries coming in. And it's obviously the temperature is going to coincide with that. We're going to stay warm through the weekend, 40s, warm, relative to what we had last week, but 40s through the weekend. You can see this cold spell comes down from the north, and that's going to cause all this snow. That's kind of what's carrying this system down with it. It's going to turn that rain into snow. So if we were a few degrees warmer, we probably would have just rain and would stay some thunderstorms, but it is going to probably turn into a more sleety, wintry mix. Now, our 7-day, this is probably the most chaotic thing you've seen, compared to, obviously we had some tornadoes last week, but, this is all over the place here. We're starting out, today 51 high, Saturday we stay calm, and then Sunday we warm up, which is going to kind of cause that, be the reason for some of those thunderstorms, the higher temperature, higher dew point, everything, higher chance for weather, and then we're going to drop off. We're going to get down to 23 in the evening, and then that snow and wintry mix is going to happen in the morning on Monday, like we said, and we're going to get pretty chilly here. So don't get too excited on Sunday, because Monday it's going to break your heart. Tuesday, we're going to calm off. We're going to stay pretty cold with the partly cloudy. And then there is a chance for some morning snow on Wednesday, but we are going to stay pretty warm, so we're going to look at that later in the week. And then Thursday, hopefully, we're looking like we're getting back to normal here with a high of 56 and partly cloudy.
Just ahead, softball player Julia Gossett is chosen as Big Ten Pitcher of the Week for the second week in a row.
And how women's tennis team held up against their biggest rivals. I'm Ireland Jones.
And I'm Michelle Guadarrama. Don't go away. Sports is next.
This past week, Purdue softball hosted their first home series of the season, the Boilermaker Classic, where Purdue is already on a hot streak by winning all of their home games so far. Reporter Jonah Blankenhorn shows how the team knocked it out of the park, while also making some history.
From March 5th to March 9th, the Purdue softball team hosted St. Bonaventure, NIU, and Green Bay University in the annual Boilermaker Classic, as well as playing against Indiana State later in the week on Wednesday. What made this series special were two star Boilers, Mariah Poehler and Julia Gossett. After a season-ending injury last year, That did not stop Mariah from coming back into the spotlight, as she is currently leading the Big Ten in batters with a batting average of .593 and 48 hits. Mariah shares how she was able to make that amazing turnaround.
Honestly, it's the support from our entire support staff, our trainers, our coaches were really patient with me. They pushed me, and they didn't push me too far to where I'm doing too much, but they know how to push me and challenge me just enough to where I'm still growing, and that was really key to getting back on the field.
Julia Gossett made history for Purdue this week. She's the first pitcher in Purdue softball history that earned Big Ten Pitcher of the Week in back-to-back weeks. Julia talks about how she feels earning this outstanding accomplishment.
It feels good, obviously. Hard work paid off, but again, I think it's a reflection of the defense behind me and the coaching that I have and, the support I got with my teammates, my coaches. We've been building something for the 2.5 years that I've been here, and just trusting in that process and believing in this program and what we're building.
As a pitcher, how much of it is mental and to stay locked in mentally, especially when you have that pitches that can get away from you?
Yeah, it's certainly difficult, but again, just trusting my defense. In that game, I knew they were going to score for me. It was a matter of when, so I just had to keep them in the game in order to let them score, and we ended up winning it.
Purdue's next home series will be right here at home against the Ohio State Buckeyes. Reporting from Bittinger Stadium, I'm Joan Blankenhorn, Fast Track Sports.
As the Boilermakers start their next series against Ohio State tonight at 5 p.m., any fans that attend tonight's game will also be given a free pickleball paddle, courtesy of the softball team.
Purdue baseball had their home season opener last weekend in a 3-game series against the Oregon Ducks. Game 1 started Friday evening at Alexander Field, with Oregon scoring early, getting 7 runs by the 3rd inning. But the Boilermakers fought back with key hits from Jimmy Dion and Sam Flores. It was an action-packed game, ending with an Oregon win of 8-7 against Purdue. In Game 2 of the series, pitcher Zach Etterman performed a stunning game, tying his season-high strikeout record, and Aaron Manias batting a 2 single-run, securing the win for the Boilers, with a score of 2-1. For Game 3, Purdue started off strong, gaining 4 runs in the 3rd inning, but the victories for the Boilermakers ended there, as they struggled on the pitcher's mound, going through 9 pitchers in just 8 innings. Oregon took Game 3, winning 15-4. Purdue may have lost this series, but will be back at Alexander Field next weekend in another 3-game series against the Penn State.
Purdue women's tennis team opened Big Ten play with a rivalry win, defeating Indiana 4-2 on the road. The Boilermakers have now won 8 of the last 9 matchups against the Hoosiers and improved to 5-4 on the season, including 1-0 in conference play. The doubles came down to the wire, but the duo of A.J. Genger and Ida Clement sealed it with a clutch 7 to tie 6-break win. In singles play, Genger stayed hot, battling back for a 3-set victory to improve to 8-1 on the year. Clement added her 3rd straight win, while freshman Emmy Kalishko dominated in straight sets, 6-3 and 6-0. With the win, Purdue extends its inning streak to 3 matches. The Boilermakers return home this weekend to host Minnesota on Friday and Wisconsin on Sunday.
While the Purdue women's tennis team celebrated a Big Ten win, the men's team also opened Big Ten play at home last weekend. The Boilermakers hosted 2 ranked opponents, falling to number 22 USC 6-1 on Friday. In singles play, Purdue got off to a strong start with several courts leading early, but the Trojans fought back to take control of the match. Sunday brought another challenge against number 26 UCLA, where Purdue fell 6-1. One bright spot came from sophomore Noor Fathala, who picked up the highest-ranked win of his career, defeating number 57 Spencer Johnson in 3 sets. Purdue now hits the road next weekend, traveling west to face Washington and number 58 Oregon.
Saturday was senior day for Purdue men's basketball. With 3 four-year players, this year's class is one of the most accomplished in Purdue's history. Reporter Jared White shows us how they were honored at Saturday's game.
Saturday's game against Wisconsin was Purdue's last game of the regular season, and this one had a little extra meaning for the Boilermakers. Braden Smith, Fletcher Lawyer, and Trey Kaufman-Wren took the court in Mackey Arena for the final time, and despite the crushing loss, a full crowd of Boilermaker fans stuck around after the game to honor and celebrate this decorated senior class. The seats were filled well before the 4 p.m. tip-off, and the fans got loud early in this ranked matchup. Purdue took a big lead early, but Wisconsin responded by getting red hot from beyond the arc, and the Boilers couldn't quite keep up. They went into halftime down 5 in a high-scoring game. Strong performances from Purdue's trio of seniors led the comeback effort in the second half as the Boilers charged back to take a lead, but Wisconsin put the game away with some more sharpshooting. The Badgers ended the game with 18 threes in a 97-93 win, spoiling the seniors' last game in Mackey Arena.
It's a very frustrating, disappointing feeling, but the silver lining is it's not over. And you got to keep, you got to keep plugging and you got to keep fighting.
After the game ended and both teams left the court, Mackey Arena stayed packed with fans for the senior recognitions. Despite the disappointing loss, the crowd was loud with its cheers and applause as the 5 seniors were introduced one by one. After Matt Painter gave a speech praising them and their accomplishments, the seniors got the chance to speak. They all thanked their coaches, teammates, and families, as well as the Purdue fans, for showing up and believing in the team through the highs and lows.
Everybody's still here.
3 teammates playing all 4 years at the same school is exceptionally rare in college basketball today. Braden Smith and Matt Painter both said it's a testament to Purdue's culture. Trey Kaufman-Wren echoed that sentiment and reflected on his decision to stay with the program for 5 years. For him, it wasn't about money.
Going to different schools and for paychecks for different things, you're right. You may get more money, but how much, what are we putting? What's the dollar amount on the relationships that I've built? What's the dollar amount on the values that I've learned?
This trio of seniors will end their careers as some of the most accomplished players in Purdue history, with their names all over the school's record books. They may have played their last game in Mackey, but there are still chances this season to add to that impressive resume. Matt Painter ended his senior day speech with a promise to the fans. We're not done yet, and we're not giving in. Reporting from Mackey Arena, I'm Jared White, Fast Track Sports.
Purdue will find out its draw in the NCAA tournament this Sunday after the Big Ten tournament wraps up. We'll have more on Purdue's postseason games in our next show.
Purdue wrestling competed at the Big Ten Championships this past weekend at the Bryce Jordan Center in Pennsylvania. The Boilermakers sent all 10 starters to compete against some of the toughest competition in college wrestling. One of the biggest highlights for Purdue came from junior Joey Blaze. Blaze put together an impressive performance and finished the tournament with a bronze medal after winning his final match. His strong finish also earned him a spot in the NCAA Wrestling Championships, which will take place later this month. Overall, 4 Purdue wrestlers qualified for the NCAA Championships after battling through a very competitive Big Ten tournament. With the conference tournament now complete, the Boilermakers will shift their focus to the NCAA Championships as they look to continue their momentum on the national stage.
Purdue women's volleyball is back and gearing up for their upcoming spring schedule, and it all begins here, right at home. The Boilermakers open the spring slate on March 28th at 11 a.m., welcoming fellow Big Ten opponent Illinois for the first match of the season. The Boilermakers stay at home hosting a scrimmage on Wednesday, April 1st at 5:30. Both of these events will take place inside Holloway Gymnasium, and all fans can catch the action with free admission. So come out to Holloway Gymnasium and help welcome Purdue volleyball back as the spring season gets underway.
As we look forward to our spring break trips and relaxation, our sports teams are still hard at work in their seasons. The men's basketball team have begun their postseason run, with the Big Ten tournament now in session. Afterward, March Madness play starts Tuesday, March 17th, with the Boilers playing on Thursday or Friday later next week. Swimming and diving NCAA championships are also taking place over the break. Avery Warrowbell, Tyler Wills, Max Miller, Nathaniel Granis, and Zach Welsh all qualified to compete on both spring boards for the competition. Darren Wright is Purdue's newest 4-year qualifier, the 9th Purdue diver to do so. Senior Reagan Mattis qualified for the 1650 freestyle short course yards event. Purdue volleyball starts their spring season against Illinois on March 28th. This is an exciting debut for transfers El Shara, Sydney Weiss, and Lamine Mambu. Baseball and softball will also continue their seasons over break, as will wrestling, golf, and tennis. Tune into our show after the break to hear about how Purdue did.
That's a wrap for sports.
But stay tuned. Fast Track will be right back after this quick timeout.
Folks, it's time for our question of the week.
With the chances of severe weather around campus earlier this week, we asked students where the safest place is on campus to shelter from a tornado.
I think walk basement, because like there's a lot of room, could hold a lot of people. I think also the dorms.
I would go to Hicks.
I know a lot of the different bathrooms have the warning signs on there, so generally into the center of a building towards the bathrooms area.
Honestly, I'm not really too aware of a good place to hide on campus. I haven't been informed that much about tornado safety. So to be honest, I'd probably just go to Tarkington basement, hide in pizza. There's lots of rations there. Hopefully I'd survive. If not, then I just get sucked up with a bunch of pizza. So
I would hide. So I don't really know camp. They didn't really tell us where to go in case of tornadoes here at Purdue. But I really heard Pike's basement's really secure. So I would go ahead and have basement type at Pike.
I'd probably go to Mackey Arena. I don't think a tornado would kill that. So yeah.
So just kind of one more look at our 7-day here just to wrap things up. Like I said, watch out for our storms on Sunday. Keep that umbrella with you, especially in the evening hours. So it should be, once everybody's back at home and you're kind of settling down, so some good thunderstorms to watch. But going into everybody, especially all of you who have to leave Monday morning, watch out for those slick roads. So there's some good weather on the horizon here, but we're not through it just yet. So keep posted on all our social media and everything for any updates on all the weather.
That's everything we've got for news this week.
Stay safe, Boilermakers. We'll see you after spring break.